6 steps, basic steps to get your home sold. Okay, so you're thinking about selling your house? Let me share with you the 6 steps that I think are the most basics and important to getting your home sold. Number 1, do an honest assessment of the condition of your property. Consider the age of the house. Consider if the home needs any repairs, minor or major. Consider the house needs any landscaping or some sprucing up of the outside. Consider the paint job of your house. Do you have very bold colors in your house? Like, is your house colored a dark green? Do you have a room inside the house that's a fuchsia? You might want to reconsider those colors, and you might want to consider painting in those circumstances, just because one of the things you want to do is neutralize your house. You want to make your house as neutral as possible so you attract the most buyers to the house. The other thing that you have to be super honest about is your kitchen and your bathroom or bathrooms. When was the last time you did an upgrade in the kitchen and bathrooms? When was the last time that you got new appliances in the kitchen? The kitchen and bath are two of the biggest rooms where buyers can tell how old the house is. So just be honest with this assessment so that you can do step number 2 correctly. Step number 2 is pricing your home correctly. So now you've done an honest assessment of your house. Now you have to price the home to maximize the amount of money you could get for your house. Now, this is something that a lot of homeowners struggle with because they just don't have the data and the knowledge to know really how much the house is worth. They might see that their neighbor's house sold for something, or they might Google and see that all these houses around their neighborhood are listed for a certain amount, but they actually don't have sold data, like the actual final sales price. They don't really know how many homes are currently in escrow, and they might not know exactly how many properties are competing against themselves, because when you're pricing a home, you have to determine not just the condition of the property and the location of the property, but you also have to consider the market conditions and how many other houses are for sale. Are there a lot of houses for sale? Or are there a number of houses for sale? Um, this type of information, two type of professionals have: the appraisers and the real estate agents. The appraisers and real estate agents have this data that sellers need in order to price the home correctly. They access this data through the multiple listing service, which is the MLS, and I'll get into that a little bit later. But and also, like I said, appraisers and real estate agents actually go into the homes and view the homes in person. So that just adds another layer of understanding of what buyers are looking at with their real eyes and not just online. So in order for you as a homeowner to get as accurate as you can on determining the price of your home, you could do two things. You could hire an appraiser and pay them $400, $500, $600 for them to evaluate the price of your home, or you could contact a real estate agent like myself or one that you might already work with. And most real estate agents, if not all of us, provide a free home evaluation. And you want to make sure it's not one that's being made automatic, that it's automated or it's AI. You want the agent to actually do the work and do the comparative market analysis. Appraisers, the appraisers, they do their work, but the agents, you just have to make sure, if you talk to an agent to get a home evaluation, that it's one that is not just an automatic one, that's one that's been reviewed by the agent. Why does the human factor matter so much? Well, because the AI and the automatic estimates, what Zillow does, they're not perfect. For example, talking about Zillow, you can ask any realtor out there and ask them about a Zestimate, about how accurate this estimate is, and they'll just roll their eyes. They're not accurate. Why is that? Because Zillow pulls data from the county and pulls sold data from the MLS. And so if your neighbor's house sold a year ago and your other neighbor's house sold 20 years ago, Zillow will pull the sales data from both houses and average them out. But that makes no sense, because one house that sold a year ago is not going to be priced nearly the same as a house that was sold 20 years ago. So you see how there's this huge discrepancy on value. So you really want to reach out to an agent if you don't want to pay for it. And if you're going to go, if you're thinking about hiring an agent, then just go with the agent and have them do an actual comparative market analysis to help you determine the right price for your home. Step number 3, clean, declutter, depersonalize, repair, and maybe paint your house. So, number 3 is important that you do it before you take any photos of the house. So, if you've already done your honest assessment, you've already talked to an agent or hired an appraisal to determine the price of the home based on the condition and based on the competition and based on the market. Now, let's say you're ready to move forward and put your house for sale. You have to make it sparkle and shine, especially for the internet, okay? So you need to clean the house, and I'm talking a deep clean. I'm talking like when you were a tenant and you were moving out your last rental and you wanted to make sure you got all your deposit money back and you made sure that house was clean. Floors, walls, windows, appliances inside and out. Deep clean. Now, if you can't do it yourself, just hire a professional house cleaner, or like I said, do it yourself. Declutter, get rid of excessive furniture. And I don't mean like rid of it. I'm just meaning like get it out of the house, put it in a storage unit, put it in a pod. Worst case scenario, put it in your garage. Just if you have an excess amount of furniture, just declutter it. And this is something that a stager or your real estate agent can help you evaluate, like what to keep and what to remove. Declutter your kitchen counters, declutter your bathroom, declutter your bedroom. Just declutter as much as you can. And if you need to hire a professional, hire one. But if not, just have a plan and an action to start decluttering. Now, the first step was being honest about the condition of your house. Does it need any repairs, any minor repairs? If they're minor, you want to take care of it. Like if it's a leaky faucet, if it's a toilet that doesn't flush correctly, if it's, a broken light switch, little things like that, you're better off just repairing. Just contracting a handyman or doing it yourself because they're so easy repairs, than to have buyers look at those little things and nitpick at it. Now, where you really want to consider and really, really think about it is if you have major repairs to do. I would say if there's major repairs like a roof, the roof needs to be redone, or your kitchen, your bath haven't been remodeled in 20 years, I would really hold off on those type of repairs, especially if you need to sell the house quick or soon. And I wouldn't try to get into the major repairs unless you have the time and the money, because you won't necessarily get your money back on the repairs. So focus more on the minor repairs, and you can leave the major repairs later down the road if the buyer decides to do a home inspection, and then you can negotiate something later on. Also, the painting. What I was talking about, step 1. If you're have a room in the house that has a red wall, or the outside of your house is a hot pink, you really want to paint the house. It does cost a couple of $1,000s to paint the house, but really the paint job is totally worth it if you have such a bold color that you're going to turn off a lot of the buyers. And the reason you turn them off is because even if they like your house, they're thinking in the back of their mind, okay, so if I buy this house, then later I'm going to have to put more money into painting the house. So it goes back to being neutral and trying to keep the house as neutral as possible. And that includes neutral colors like creams, light beiges, light grays, not even blue. I would say stay with the creams and the beiges and maybe some grays. And that's pretty good. If you don't have funky colors like this, then you don't have to worry about it. Step number 4, super important, is to hire a professional real estate photographer for your photos, video, and the layout of your house if you choose to do one. I can't stress this enough. 80 43% of buyers started their search online. Okay. And 21% contacted their realtor. But once, you know, a buyer wants, either if they start online or they start with the realtor, eventually they're going to be seeing every single house online first, because their agent is going to be sending them the houses. Hey, you want to see this one? Hey, you want to see this one? Hey, you want to see this one? Or the buyer's going to be online searching, when they have free time to look, and they're going to be picking based on the photos. So you do not want to take photos from your cell phone camera. And if you do decide to work with an agent, hire an agent, definitely the agent should not be taking photos with their cell phone camera. So this is a question to ask them. Are you guys providing professional photography? And it should be covered by the agent. That's just a service. That's part of the marketing that we do. So don't allow your agent to take cell phone pictures, or you yourself don't do it and then post it online. What we want to do when you want to sell your house and get the most amount of money for it is, you want to convince that buyer that when the weekend comes and they have to choose between seeing 12 homes and they can only see 5, they're going to go based on the photos. And so you want your pictures of your homes to be so great that when they come out to see homes, or they have to pick from a list, they're like, we're seeing this one because this picture, this house looks great. Versus you're taking photos with your cell phone and they're dark and they're not professional. And the buyer might be like, we'll skip this one for the next week. And maybe they won't come back next week to see your house. So photos, very important. Hire a professional and make sure it's a real estate photographer, not just any photographer, because they know what they're doing. Step number 5, create a well-written benefits and feature sheet of the home and the neighborhood. So in going back to the stats, the 3 most important things for buyers when they're online searching or looking at homes to potentially go tour and make offers on, is the first thing they look at, and the most important thing for them is the photos. The second thing is the layout of the house. And the third thing is the written features and benefits of the home. And I would also include the neighborhood, especially if you live in a great neighborhood, because a lot of buyers are not just buying the house, they're also buying into the neighborhood. So it's very important to have a well-written benefits and feature sheet to start highlighting what it was that you love about the home. What is it that made you want to buy the house? What upgrades have you done to the house? What is it about the neighborhood that you love so much? And just, write it all out. And if you're not a great writer, that's okay. You could use AI to help you write it better. But just start with the list of the things, the reasons why you bought the house. What was it about the house that you loved, and any upgrades that you've done. The 6th step, the final. And of course, this is not all absolute steps. There's more steps, and it just is going to vary based on your situation, your home, your location. So, but these are the basics. For me, these are the basics. If you want to sell your house for top dollar and with the least amount of stress and within a time frame that you're looking for. Most important, after photos, of course. Photos are most important, but the price actually is the most important. But after price, photos, the most important is listed on the MLS. You have to list your home on the multiple listing service. Why? Well, have you searched for homes online? When a buyer's seeing houses online and they're on Zillow, they're on Trulia, they're on homes.com, they're on Redfin, they're on their own agent search websites. Thousands of websites pull data from the MLS. Without the MLS, these sites wouldn't have these homes to show potential buyers. So, in order for you to attract 88% of buyers, right, that they used agents, most buyers, and in order for you to attract agents as well that are bringing the buyers, you have to be on the MLS. The MLS is going to showcase your home to the agents, and it's going to showcase the home to the buyers that are also doing their searches on their own. So the MLS is super important. Now, can you post your home online not on the MLS, yes, you can. There's certain websites that allow that, like for salebyowners.com, or I think even Zillow lets you do a for sale by owner posting. But you have to remember that only the buyers that are on Zillow or that for sale by owner website are going to see your house, and all the other buyers are not going to see your house. Now, this is an interesting stat. 5% of buyers in 2024 bought directly from the seller, but out of those, about 70% knew the owner. So in reality, the homes are selling through the MLS. So you have to have the house on the MLS. The only caveat with that is that only licensed real estate agents, realtors, are allowed to post on the MLS. So you would have to work with a real estate agent in order to get your home listed on the MLS. Now, there's some agents that will charge you a small fee just to post the home on the MLS, and they don't do anything else, which I don't think it's a good deal, but okay, that's an option. And then there's full service agents like myself that not only will it post the home on the MLS, but we also do a whole bunch of other marketing online and in person and in print in order to get your home sold. So these are my top 6. But like I said, it varies case by case, but these are the typical. If you have a particular situation that you want to talk about, comment below or send me a message. I would love to answer your questions. And I hope this information helped.